Alrighty, welcome to another Tuesday night hangout. My name is Justin Messina. People call me JMS, and I am a health and lifestyle coach. We've got Rob alongside my partner in crime, and we've got a great panel of guests tonight, which this is really exciting because the more we could share these ideas, share all this value, and collaborate more and more with other coaches, other entrepreneurs out there, the more we can really get from each other as well as bring more and more value and get different perspectives. So like I said, I'm Justin. We've got Alex, we've got Melissa, we've got Victor, and we've got Rob. So guys, go ahead and introduce yourselves. I'll just go down the line. Alex, Melissa, Victor, and then Rob.
Hey guys, how you doing tonight? It's good to be on this call. I'm Alex Donabedian. I'm also a life and health coach through positivelyhealthful.com, and I inspire healthy living, incorporate positive habits into everyday life. I think you guys might have just lost me for a sec there, but I'm back. So I inspire positive habits into everyday life, and just building my business. It's been good, so I'm glad to get on this topic of single point of focus, and you guys could reach me at alexdhealthcoach@gmail.com. Thank you.
All right, Melissa.
Hi, my name is Melissa Browning, and I am a lifestyle and wellness coach. My focus is on inflammatory conditions, so I help people that want to get off medication or reduce their medication to do that if they are dealing with cancer, diabetes, heart disease, migraines, rheumatoid arthritis, and obesity. That's my focus. And you could reach me at my website, which is www.melbwellness, that's MELBEE wellness.com, or my email, which is melissa@melbwellness.com.
Alrighty, Victor, good to meet you, man.
Hey, nice to meet you, Justin. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm great, man.
Okay, am I in?
Yep, you're just go ahead and introduce yourself and let people know, what you're about.
Okay, sure. My name is Victor Dedage. I'm an entrepreneur, marketer, and a coach. I try to help people improve their lives and teach them how to make money online. And I'm looking forward to discussing today's topic. You can reach me at Victor_P_Dedage@yahoo.com. And you can also go to my website, victordedage.com, and that's DEDAJ. Thank you.
I'm Robert Shepard. I'm a health and lifestyle coach from Shepard Fit, the way I was fit to be, the way you were fit to be, healthy, wealthy, whatever you desire within life, you were fit to be as long as you focus on it. I help to motivate the unmotivated, inspire the uninspired, and help the hopeless to be hopeful. You can reach me at shepherdfit.info. That's it.
Alrighty, this is really exciting to have all you guys aboard. We're going to jump right into it, and tonight's topic is going to be all about not just in a business sense, but in a lifestyle sense of how to keep a single focus, and why is that important? Why is it important to have a single focus than have a bunch of different focuses? A lot of people, pride themselves on multitasking, and we're going to talk a little bit about that. We're going to get into exactly why keeping it simple can be very beneficial rather than making things complicated. And so I'm really eager to get into this. I'm just going to lead off with a key point. I want to share a little bit of my story of where I came from before I get into points I want to go into. And that is going through engineering school. And when you go through a school like that, it's highly technical and it's very complicated in its systems, and that can work. Being complicated in something can really work if there's a system in place to handle it. So when you are, working at a job, for instance, if I was going to become an engineer, a lot of things I learned in school obviously would be very helpful for that. But when it comes to just basic your life and your guiding decisions, right? Like, how do I make decisions? How do I not get confused? How do I not get the chaos get to me, which today's world obviously is super chaotic, lots of distractions out there. And how do I keep things simple? And what goes on in business when things are overly complicated, or we start to add new things in. So first, on the life side of things, a key way of just avoiding all of the overcomplication is to, and all of that, all the chaotic feelings and the being lost kind of feelings that I just kind of went over, is to have a life purpose that you really understand. And the way you find your life purpose is actually really simple. It's not necessarily going into something and understanding like the meaning of life, like people think of, like to try to figure out this huge secret or something. It's getting down to your life purpose is not an exact science, but it's something that you can easily go through, just a simple process. And I actually talk about it in my lifestyle creation guide that I created, where it just helps you clarify, what do I want, where am I going? And when you have a clear life purpose, it guides every decision, and you're not lost. You're not thinking like, okay, how do I make this decision, or which job do I take, or any area of your life, with relationships, with anything. It helps direct your decisions. It helps guide you in the right direction. And on a business sense, I feel like when it comes to, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a coach, if you're basically an entrepreneur, as far as like if you're a solopreneur, or if you're someone that has to, you're creating your own systems. There might be templates for you to follow, but basically there's going to be a natural state of chaos. Like I'm sure all of us here have felt that. And there's a natural state of just complication. So to complicate things in that environment is just sort of like suicide. And the more, this goes with anything, this goes with what is my identity as an entrepreneur, right? What do people know me as? And someone like the most successful people in the world, people like Steve Jobs, for instance. I love to cite Steve Jobs for things. He's known for being on a team of people who grew up Apple and had a vision of, I'm going to change the classroom environment of getting some weird feedback, guys. You guys just mute yourself if you have some background noise. But Steve Jobs had a vision of, I want to change the learning experience for children around the world, and I'm going to do it through computers. And then it evolved to personal computers and all these devices that we know now and we just use every single day. And he didn't go off and say, oh, now I'm going to be like the best pilot. Now I'm going to be like, I'm going to be the fastest 100-mile runner in the world, or whatever. He stuck to one thing, and he did it until the day he died. And that's how you become great, right? Is not to overcomplicate things. So you're going to stick to one thing. What is your identity, right? How do people know you, and what are you great at? Like understanding what you can be great at. And then it goes for, how you market too. Like, if you go and you try to use Facebook, and then you try to go out into local events, and then you go back to the computer and you're like, I'm going to try LinkedIn now, and I'm going to try paid traffic, and you do all this crazy stuff, and you're not focused on one area, and you've never mastered any one area, you're going to be completely lost, and you're not going to be really good at any one area, and you just kind of get stuck in the rat race. And this is unfortunately what most people who try to start a business, especially the people who aren't really get serious and don't stay the path through all the hardships, that's unfortunately what happens. And so I just wanted to throw a little bit of knowledge out there that I have, and then you guys can just jump in. It's going to be a little different than usual because we get so many people. But if anyone, I don't want to call on people all night. We're not going to do that. So whoever wants to just jump in, just jump in.
Well, all right, I'll just say a couple of things here, because there's a tendency, especially like with marketers, like when they first start, they want to try like 2 or 3 or 4 opportunities at once, and that just gets them into trouble because, as you pointed to, you got to master one thing at a time. And when you're trying to do 3 or 4 opportunities, you get overwhelmed because you don't learn any of them. It's like what you were saying, do I try Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, blogging, all that? You should focus at one at a time, because your conscious mind really cannot multitask. It can only do one process at a time. Your subconscious can multitask, but your conscious mind cannot. So that's why, in general, it's best to focus on one task at a time. And when you're starting business, I would say build up one business first, get good at it, And then if you're really good and you're successful, then you might want to try a second one if you want to have multiple sources of income. But a lot of people try to do 3 or 4 at once, and they get nowhere. They become Renaissance men, jack of all trades and master of nothing. But you really should try to focus on one, because you will get, that's how you get the best results. You focus on one thing, you do it, you succeed at it, and then you go on to the next thing, one step at a time. Yeah.
Oh, Rob, you're muted, bud.
I'm muted. I
Alrighty.
totally agree with you on that, because what you find is there's a thing out there called multiple streams of income, and so many of us are trying to live by that, and we're over there trying to juggle so many things at the same time. And when you look at the end results, it's actually multiple streams of none instead of multiple streams of income.
Yep.
Because I remember myself doing 6-7 opportunities, and you find by the time you finish paying out every month for the monthly cost for the websites and for what you have to do for each opportunity, you come up with pretty much $0 at the end, and you actually be in the negative. But once I zeroed myself in and said, okay, even though I paid for those opportunities, some of them are things that you paid for, and you have it for life as long as you pay the yearly, whatever the cost is. Sometimes it's $59 a year just to maintain it. That's fine, but I don't try to promote it, because it's actually can hinder your success, because then people cannot follow you on what you're doing, and you confuse your audience. So once I singled myself down and said, okay, this is what I stand for. I stand for a health coach and lifestyle coach. So what does that mean? It means it teaches you how to live a lifestyle and teach you to live a healthy lifestyle. So once you start to narrow that down, it actually works out better for you. But so many try to look at it as, well, you try to be some famous person like a Donald Trump that have all these buildings and things, but the thing is, he has the money to hire different people to manage and maintain those business for him. So they know what their task is. So if a manager is hired to run one of his hotel, and another person is hired to run his talk show or whatever his show is, that person know what their job is. But when we, as a small business owners, that when we try to do that, it affects us instead of benefits us. That's my take on that piece of it. But I have some more valuable content I'll bring to everyone at the end of it.
And I just wanted to add to that as people, we all have lives, hopefully. So we're running households and doing all these other things in addition to our business, just normal everyday things. So when you're focusing on other things, when you're working, you're focusing on your business, and you're focusing on other, instead of being single-mindedly focused on something, you're focusing on all these different things. It makes it that much harder. Focusing on learning one thing at a time, implementing one thing at a time is going to make it way easier for you to actually get somewhere in that.
Absolutely. I totally agree with that. Can you guys hear me all right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
All right, awesome, cool. Yeah, I just wanted to, I like everything you guys are saying, and totally with social media, I know that there's so many different avenues of social media that you can take, and you should really just pick one or two. I like to just pick one. Actually, I do Facebook and Instagram, because Instagram is pictures and Facebook is more of like text and sharing websites and stuff like that. So, but just kind of like hone on in that, and then focus on the people that are in conversation with you, that are liking your stuff or leaving a comment, then go in for them and start a conversation with them one-on-one. Use that as a starting base. And also, like, pick a specialty, as in what you want to do with health, obviously. Like, do you want to treat a stomach order, or do you want to treat a skin disorder, or what is your specialty going to be for? Like, is it going to be losing weight, or is it going to be gaining muscle? The more you hone in on one of those things, you can make it a specialty, and then by making it a specialty, you'll be studying it every day and getting different perspectives on it, so you become more of an expert in that, and then you can cooperating with other people that have different specialties. And so obviously, as health and lifestyle coaches, we do that with each area of life. And but finding your unique little niche in each part of that whole circle of life. And that's just what I wanted to add.
Yeah, Alex, that's awesome stuff because when it comes down to it, I'm thinking about the Instagram and Facebook thing because there's like a huge difference, and I'll just reverse it. I'm gonna go over some business stuff and then more of the life stuff. But for Instagram and Facebook, it's like you don't even have to do one or the other, right? You can do Instagram or whatever platform you want to be on and interacting with people, but you can also be on Instagram and then automatically post to Facebook. So it's sort of like different where you're sort of leveraging your time, but you don't necessarily, yeah.
Right. And that's just what I want.
And
Absolutely.
so kind of the piggyback on that point, there's also this concept of business where you guys that are watching this right now, you might follow some of us or one of us on this call right now, and you might say like maybe you might say, oh, maybe you do you know like people would probably be like, Justin, you do Facebook and YouTube, like what do you mean single focus? But when it comes down to it, like there's things that are front end and back end, right? And this goes with like how you can have a business and maintain it, how you can make it a full-time income. It comes down to sort of the back end things because you could put all your energy in one area, but you could be making. I'm just gonna mute. I'm gonna just mute you for a minute, Alex. I'm getting a little background, but you could put area into your on the front end, and then on the back end, you're getting affiliate things like Amazon.com. Like you can have if you're into showing people personal development and showing them what personal development can really do for them, and then you're going to send them off to Amazon and be like, check out this book, right? Or have on your website a list of books. And this is where traffic is so important because if you can generate traffic using whatever method you're using, and you could bring them to a web page or a lead page, and you can have a list of Amazon books, or you can have a product that has an affiliate program. So it's like you can load up on affiliate commissions without actually promoting that. So you're not taking Amazon affiliate program and promoting that. You can actually just have it as something that sits on your platform, on your website, and it can generate income for you that isn't you doing any work. It's just a benefit of you sharing more value with the people that follow you and leading them to awesome books, leading them to awesome software that has affiliate programs. So that's really key because that really will end up leveraging your income a lot more. I think that actually is more of my income than actually actually coaching right now, which is, I don't know, questionable, but it's something that it's not time for money, right? It's not just you're putting time into one thing and you're saying I need clients, for instance. You're actually creating a system where it allows for growth and it allows for scalability, and to be able to do it on the back end where you're not putting the effort into all these different things. You're putting effort into one avenue, knowing that from that it branches off and it sort of evolves into wherever people need to go, whatever's right for them, they can kind of find it from that. So with that said, another point is I love Melissa's point about kind of segmenting tasks throughout the day, and that's a great point because there's this cool concept I've had for a while now. I don't think I've actually publicly shared it, but it's like having 100% focus 100% of the time, and that can be taken to singular activities. So if you have to clean your house, if it's like the weekend or whenever you clean your house throughout the week, like you have to go clean your house, spend all your time cleaning your house, and that's a lot of people could be therapeutic, right? And then there might be time you need to be creative, where you need to come up with ideas. If that's part of your business, you might have to get your business administrative work done. You might want to go out and have some entertainment time, right? So wherever you are, being 100% there is huge, and that's something I even struggle with. I'm sure like a lot of people struggle with, but it's super key. Yeah, super key point there, Melissa, about definitely being completely present in whatever you're doing. So again, guys, we're gonna do one more round based on time.
That's
Just jump in, do whatever, wherever you want to jump in. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's a great point because it's keeping that single focus and maintaining it is one, because when you look at all the distractions that's out there and whatever we're doing, like there's so many different things that are going on, and you try to lose focus and go off into what someone else is doing, when it doesn't even align with your vision or align with what you're doing. And then it doesn't even fit with you and it doesn't feel right. It's great to always keep that single focus. And just to kind of go through a few pointers, one of the main killer out there today is lack of focus. I mean, you do some research on it. Focus like that, it happens all the time, and it's just one of the main killers out there as far as if we're not making sure that we're focused and have a clear direction on where we're going. I made some notes that I wanted to actually go over because I think it was just a valid point when Justin and I spoke about it. I said, you know what, I'm going to just put some notes down because I think it would be very clear just to help that this hangout help as many people as we can with it. Without focus, we headed pretty much in a disaster. I've done it, I've been there, and it just leads me pretty much nowhere because I'm all over the place. I remember my lady used to always say to me, you know, it seems like every time we turn around, what are you doing now? It's like, okay, I feel that because I change opportunity, I feel I'm going to get somewhere because someone says, hey, I'm making so much in this opportunity, you need to come over here. But then I already started on what I'm doing, and then I end up losing focus and start something else and pretty much start from the ground up again. One of the biggest risks losing our focus is wasting time and living a meaningless life where it's just we're going on and just keep going through a cycle and creating all these activities that's actually driving us to nowhere. But once we get clear vision and focus, then we actually can move forward. At times, if we don't stay focused, we'll find ourselves in difficulties, concentration, especially going through when we have in big deadlines that's due for us to do things. Like say if we have a deadline we set to get ahead to do something tomorrow, but then we are so busy reading something on Facebook, going through emails because we heard the minute. By the time we know we start reading their comments, by the time time went by us, you lose your focus on that level. People have various levels of concentration. Some people can do many different things at once, sacrificing accuracy, while others need to give 100% of their focus and attention to finish their single task. That's something that Justin and I discuss many times. Like, okay, we need to finish this. What's the plan? Here's where we're going. Now we need to stop. Now we need to put a marketing plan behind what we're doing. We try to say, yeah, we're multitasking. Some of us are great at multitasking. Some of us are not. So if we're not, move it over to someone that can multitask. Move things over to your someone that can help you, your virtual assistant, that they can help you with whatever you're doing. That means you can stay focused on your task. I have 4 points I wanted to discuss to pinpoint on distractions, just to maintain our concentration by identifying things that's distracting the most. When you're halfway through a task and you realize you're not concentrating as much as when you started, take a deep breath. There's something that I practice all the time is just take a deep breath, inhale, exhale, and just kind of observe your surroundings. What is distracting you the most? Identifying these key things, think the ways that can block it out. Like what can you do to block out those distractions that you can get back to focus? Because once you align your focus right, you'll find you get a lot more done. 2, accept the distractions. Make sure your life is interesting. If you know that there's a distraction and someone says, hey, you're distracting, you're losing focus, accept it. Because if you don't accept it and you say, no, I'm not, I'm doing this, then you'll never get to correct the distractions and end up, to get back on focus. Break everything down into basics. Simple duplicates, everything else complicates. The simple format of things, if it's something that is difficult for us, understand it's going to be difficult for others. No matter how we look at it, we have to always make sure it's simple and always bring it back to okay, I am trying to teach a 5-year-old or a 10-year-old and what we're trying to do. Because if you keep it simple and make sure the focus is on it, it'll be a lot easier for everyone else to get it. Also, last tip, know what actually matters most. Be honest with yourself about the actions that truly move the needle to wherever you're trying to go. Make sure you're looking at the 80-20 rules. That's a biggie. you're stuck. At times you may feel stuck at where you're at. Reach out to a business buddy. We all need, just like we're business coaches, we're health coaches, fitness coaches. We always need to have someone that you can call on a daily basis to say, hey, you know what, I'm struggling here. And that person, you can have a conversation with them, and by the time you know it, you get off the phone and you fall back into your direction you're going in, get back and focus. Because when you look at it, we're trying to help others by being coaches. So we're business coaches, health coaches, lifestyle coaches. That means we're coaches. But in a lot of ways, we also need coaching ourselves, because we may see the greatest out there and we're thinking they just become great by themselves. Not really. They actually have coaches out there. And I know a lot of folks out there that they don't say because they don't want to make it seem that the information is coming from them. But when you started doing your research, they actually have some very strong coaches behind them that helping them to keep their focus and help them to go in the correct direction that they can be successful. So those are just some tips that I wanted to pass off. Victor, you have anything to add, or anyone else have anything to add?
Well, I definitely agree about the the need for coaches, because all the successful people have mentors and coaches who've like helped them out. It's like sports athletes; they all have coaches and managers to guide them, and all of us have mentors. If we said we don't, we'd be lying to everyone. We all have mentors and coaches who are guiding us, keeping us in focus. So I think that last point you made, Rob, was an excellent one.
I agree with that. I've used a coach, a health coach, and business coaches in my practice, and it's really helped. It's good to have accountability and someone to give you some advice when you need it, because we all need advice from time to time, and we all need someone to lean on from time to time, and that's great. I also like what Rob said about distractions. It's so easy to get distracted. When you get onto Facebook, if you have a fan page or whatever that you're working on, if you're doing that social media, it's really easy to get caught up in liking people's statuses or looking through Facebook for no apparent reason. So some of the things that can help with distractions is time limits. So setting your time limits for each thing you're doing. So I'm going to check my email first thing in the morning. I'm going to spend a half an hour on that. I'm going to set time limit for Facebook. I'm going to spend a half an hour on that. So each thing, kind of giving yourself a time limit. If that's hard for you, setting a timer is a good idea.
I like that. That's I like that.
Yeah.
Nice little timer. I never thought of it, because sometimes you get carried away. By the time you look, you're an hour and a half on Facebook. That's a good point. Like, spend like a half an hour Facebook, then move on to the next an hour, then move on to the next. That's a good point. I like that.
Yes. Yes.
Great takeaway. Thank you.
Yeah, Alex, are you there, buddy, right now, or no? Maybe not. I don't know if it's just his video or what. But yeah, I think at this point I think we're gonna just transition into like kind of like our main takeaways. I don't know if you guys have been taking notes or whatever, but whatever like really stuck out to you, whatever you just feel like in your gut, in your heart, whatever it is. Let's just go down the line. I guess we'll start with Melissa, and then if Alex comes back on, we'll. Oh, Alex, can you hear me? Oh, we can't hear anybody. But I don't know if you're able to get that fixed or not. But yeah, we'll just start with Melissa. We're just gonna go over takeaways, and also what we're closing up because it's already been about a half hour. And if there's anything that we did kind of already share, how people can reach us. But if there's anything you're working on that you want to share as well, like go through that also. So go ahead, guys, take it away.
Okay, am I starting?
Yes.
Okay, so it was great being on the call. I hope everyone enjoyed it. It was great being on the panel, and thank you for inviting me, Justin. It was nice to meet everybody that's on the panel. I think it was an excellent call. I think there were so many really good takeaways. Like I just kind of discussed, the distractions were really good. Having a coach to coach us out is really good. Those things probably stuck out to me the most. I know we just recently talked about those, but I thought they were really good points. So I guess in closing, Again, my name is Melissa Browning. My website is www.melbewellness. That's MELBEE wellness.com. My email is melissa@melbewellness.com. And I am coming up with soon a 7-week program. It's just revamp your life in 7 weeks. It's a really simple program that you get an email once a week at the beginning of the week, something to implement in your life. So that's going to be coming up in the next few weeks. So if you're interested, you can visit my website to get more information on that.
Awesome. So, Rob, go ahead, bud.
Okay, again, my name is Robert Shepard. I'm Shepard Fit, the way I was fit to be. Healthy, wealthy, the way you were fit to be. Healthy, wealthy, and have whatever you desire. My mission is to motivate the unmotivated, inspire the uninspired, and help motivate the hopeless. So, as far as for me, I just like to reach out. I'm just very excited to be in this hangout, and I just think it's a lot of values, great takeaway. I know I'm going to leave with making sure I set a timer. I love that, Melissa. That was awesome. Set a timer to make sure that because I get carried away. I'm being honest. Sometimes I'll sit there and I look around. I'm like, man, I've been on Facebook for 3 hours just, doing stuff productive. But I could have probably created a program or something where instead of just marketing or connecting or it's still productive because I never spend time wasted on Facebook. But still, if I do a timer, that's pretty powerful. Victor, I love some of the stuff that you said. Pretty good about the coaching and as far as being keeping a great straight focus, just an awesome lifestyle there. And my man there. Get your camera right, brother. There you go. So awesome just to be here. Honestly, it's I love this, and we wish to we love to have you guys back next week and bring more people on because I think it's really helpful, these hangouts.
Hello.
There you go, Alex. You back?
Oh, awesome. Cool. Yeah, I just really appreciated this call also. Some good talking, good information. And I just wanted to thank Justin Messina for inviting me on. And Rob Shepard, we haven't talked too much, but seen your stuff on the internet, and you're doing a great job inspiring people. I love your tagline. Let's go to my main takeaways for tonight. So we're talking about the single-pointed focus and how important it is. And I like how I think Rob touched on it, how you got to find your unique part in all of the chaos. Don't try to follow the crowd. Maybe check out what the crowd's doing and check out what multiple crowds are doing, but then step back and meditate for a little bit and kind of figure out what's good for you to singly focus on. And secondly, I like someone else said, to identify your obstacles and identify what your distractions are. So when you're trying to get a task done or when you're trying to plan something out, what's getting in your way, what's taking up a majority of your time. I like that point. And then also having a single pointed focus through conversation and through sharing things, it helps helps us be accountable. And so share with your family, share with your friends, and also as coaches and consultants, that's exactly what we're here for. We sit down and we have a conversation with you. We help you talk through whatever you're trying to focus on or trying to get clear in your head. So through conversation, it provides clarity, and we could bounce back with some advice. And like everyone was saying, I advise you to go out and get a friend or a buddy or even a counselor or coach to talk to help you focus in on whatever you need to do. That's all I really want to say about single point of focus, that it's important, and the more you focus, the farther you'll go. And then once you have that focus, just keep up the momentum and the tenacity, and you'll get results. Thank you for letting me on the call.
Where can we find you? Your website?
Oh, yeah. You could email me at alexdhealthcoach@gmail.com, and I have a website, www.positivelyhealthful.com.
Awesome.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Victor?
All right, well, thank you, Justin and Rob, for having me on this hangout tonight. I had a great time tonight, and I learned a lot from listening to everyone tonight. We learned a lot about the importance of having a single focus on your business and on many different things and tasks. Because when you focus on one thing at a time and you get it done, you feel a sense of accomplishment and you feel successful, which is very good for your mindset, because having the proper mindset is very important in succeeding in all kinds of things and in all kinds of businesses. So I think when you succeed in these tasks, your mindset becomes much more positive, and it definitely helps. And just also the point of getting mentors and coaches is important. If you don't have a mentor, try to get yourself a good one, because it makes things so much easier. They'll help you avoid making those mistakes all of us on this panel have made in our careers. So definitely get yourself one. It'll save you many, many hours and many, many years. And I love that point Melissa made about having a time limit for everything. Spend an hour on Facebook, spend a half hour doing this. This is great. I'm going to put that when I go on my Evernote list tomorrow, because Evernote's like a web-based list task list manager. So now I'm just going to add the time limit to that as well. And thank you all for sharing. And my website is victordedage.com, and you can email me at victor_p_dedage@yahoo.com. Have a great night, all.
All right, thanks for sharing, everybody, and you're welcome every single week. You guys come back whenever you want. This would be awesome if we can keep doing these like this. My biggest takeaway tonight was something Rob said. I want to spin off or piggyback a little bit, and it's always being honest with yourself. And he also said, follow the 80-20 rules. And this made me think of something I opened up with about, through my time in engineering school. What happens a lot of times is we can get this idea, like, it plays into our ego, and it's sort of like this idea of if you're someone who loves to learn, then you can sort of get comfortable with like feeling like, oh, I'm learning a lot or I'm growing a lot, and you're not seeing results, and it's sort of like this comfort zone you develop of just sort of like being in your, like, oh, I'm learning a lot, I know so much about this, I'm sort of an expert, but things aren't really moving. So you're sort of tricking yourself of your level of growth, and this can be dangerous. And when it comes down to managing your time, right, like setting up time blocks if that's what's right for you, or setting up a to-do list for the day if that's what works for you, whatever it is, if you could stay true to yourself, be honest with yourself, is what I'm doing actually bringing me results, or am I just sort of out there just acting, doing a bunch of stuff? And this could be also things that people mentors you have might be telling you the wrong thing to do, and you just need to be aware of, am I doing the things that are actually producing results? I mean, that's where the 80-20 rule comes in. That's super huge as well. So with that said, my name is Justin Messina. You see my website right there, justin-messina.com. I'm heavily working on the Vision Fit movement, co-founders with Rob for that. You can find that at visionfitmovement.com. And I'm working on the lifestyle creation system, which is module after module after module of a lot of stuff we're talking about right now. Finding your life purpose. What do I want to leave in this world? How am I going to stay single-pointed focused so I can become great at something? And then it goes through a lot of step-by-step processes of how do I bring that into crafting my vision? How do I set up my goals? So how do I take the goal I really want to get to, whether it's a year or 5 years down the road, and how do I break that down into what I'm doing every day so it starts getting very clear and it's not so boring, having a daily to-do list, for instance. So that's what I'm working on. You guys can check that out on my website. Really great having you guys here. It was a really good call. We do these every Tuesday night at 8 o'clock Eastern. And with that said, thank you guys so much for being on. And closing out, like we always say, live Vision Fit, we're out.